This video is a demonstration of how to answer math questions in Gradpoint. And it'll also demonstrate how to use the insert equation option specifically for math questions. So here's an example of a question you may run into when working in Gradpoint. One thing we do recommend is that you clearly label and identify your answers. That will make it easier for your teacher to grade and identify what your actual answer is. So for this example, you'll see where there's 3 parts that I'm supposed to answer for this question. You just click in the space provided, and I would recommend labeling your answers. So for answer A, I would type A. When I'm answering how many terms are in the polynomial, I would type my answer. And I press the enter or the return key to go to the next line. And like I said, I would label with B, what are the coefficients, and I would just type what I think the answers are. And let me just tell you, in no way am I answering this correctly. I'm just typing answers, so don't think I'm giving you the answer for this question. I press enter or return, go to the next line. What is the constant term? And I type my answer. So for this question, I was actually able just to use the number key, the regular keyboard, but you are going to run into questions where you might need to answer in a fraction or using exponents. So that's where the insert equation icon comes into play, and it's the one right here next to the picture icon. So if I wanted this to be a fraction, if I click on the insert equation option, you'll see you have 2 boxes. The top box is where you will type. The second box shows you a preview of what your equation is going to look like. So if I wanted my answer to be 1/2, I would type 1/2, and this is what the half will look like. And I press OK, and it will enter the equation into my answer box. If at any time you want to delete or change what you wrote, you can just double click, opens that up again. So maybe my answer was really 1/2 x plus 2. So I have my 1/2 for 1/2. If I type x, you'll see where it actually puts the x next to 1/2. If I do -2, it's going to continue with my equation. And if I scroll down, you'll see where it did my answer. If I want to delete an equation, I just press the delete key, and I can actually delete what I just typed in. And I can press that insert equation button again to pull up the edit equation option. This insert symbol button allows you to kind of have Gradpoint help you. So if you weren't sure how to do like x to the power of 2, so I'm actually going to say maybe I wanted it to be x to the power of 2. So if I type x and then look for the icon where there'd be a power of some kind, and that's this one right here, you'll see where it actually draws this symbol. It's the shift 6 symbol. Right now I'm not seeing anything. That's because I need to add whatever the power would be. So it's x to the power of 2. And if I wanted it to be, maybe it's 2x to the power of 2, that's what it will look like. And I can press OK. Another example, if I'm going to select the insert symbol, and you'll see where there's like the square root. There might be times where maybe it's 1/2x, so it's not 1/2 x. So feel free to use, and you're going to want to use some parentheses to help you keep numbers together. Because if I do 1/2x, it looks like this. But I want it to be 1/2x. That's where if I insert the parentheses, I now have 1/2x and say OK. If at any time you have questions with entering equations, feel free to contact your teacher and they can help you. And this document will also be linked in the directions of the assignment. It helps you know what the keyboard shortcuts are. So like there's that caret symbol. It's the shift X or shift 6 to get that. But it lets you kind of know what the tools look like. If you want to do a multiplication dot, it's the asterisk, which is shift 8. This can help you when typing things for those insert equations and for those math problems. But once again, if you have questions, feel free to ask your teacher and they can provide guidance on answering your math questions.